reference is talked about, or it can be defined as a reference where we use the table name and the column header. The table name and the column header to reference a cell. We use the table name and column header to reference a cell. It's called structured reference. It's called structured reference. So I made mention of yesterday. So I said when we talk about structured reference, Excel sees this thing you can see now, this table in quotes. Let me say it like that. Excel, we see this as a table, but Excel doesn't see this as a table. It just in a tabular form. Excel doesn't see this as a table. This in Excel is actually called a range. A range. This will only be a table when we convert this to a table. I'm going to show you that. When we convert this to a table, that is only when Excel will regard this as a table. Now, how do we convert this to a table? Simply, we go to insert, we go to, that your cursor will be any cell in the table. We go to insert and we hit your table. It will give us this dialog box you can see here. Let me move it to give us the dialog box. We can click here. We can click here. Sorry, this will give me a challenge. Okay, let me go back to what we're doing. Okay, table. So this says my table has headers. As you can see here, this it has headers. It will take geography, product, amount, and unit. They are all headers. We tick it and we hit OK. Now, this is what we call a table. This is what Excel recognizes as a table. You can see here, you can see the drop down buttons here. The drop down here. You can see them here. So this is what Excel recognizes as a table. This is now an Excel table. This is now an Excel table. Another way to get this done, if I can go back, another way to get this done is to press your Control T. Control T. Control T will open the same dialog box. You hit your OK. You have your table, Excel table. We can convert this back to a range. If you're on your home screen, you can see convert this back to a range. That is the former type, tabular form. Now, we have this as a table. If you look at my menu here, you can see insert and the rest, blah, blah, blah. And now you can see design. Now, this design, you can only access the design when you have this as a table. When you have a table in the worksheet, that's only when you can have this design capability. If I should return, let me return. You are seeing there is no design here. We cannot access design in any way here. It's only when this is turned to a table we can have a design. We can have access to design, as you can see up here. Now, this is your home. This is your design. Now, you can actually convert it back to your normal range tabular form by coming here under tools and hit convert to range. It will now ask you if yes. You now hit your yes, but we are not going to convert it. We want to work with this table. Now, structured reference. Now, structured reference. Now, creating a structured reference in a column will automatically, as if you want to create another column, let's create another column here. Let's do it. Let's say we want to create a column that says total. A column that says total. We come here, say total. Just watch what will happen. Total. We hit enter. Are you seeing? It automatically creates another column with all the formatting and all what you have on this table, the previous table. So that's one advantage of working with table. And I want to let you know that if you're given a job to do and you're given a data set, the first thing you should do is to convert that data set to a table. Convert the data set to a table. except you want to do some minor adjustment before you can convert it. But to do any work on a data set, you have to first convert it to a table so that you can actually have some capabilities to work with. So now you can see an example of this. If your data set, if you get your data set and your data set is in a range, if you have your data set as a range, you cannot have this capability. You cannot come here and just put total and hit enter and get all this. It's not possible. It will not work. It won't work. Now look at another capability. We want to multiply this by this. We want to multiply amount by unit to see the total. How do we do? Now watch this. Okay, now before I even show you that, let me tell you another thing. Now this is a table according to Excel. If you come to our design, hit your design. Here is the table name. Let me add somebody. I'm coming. Hold on. Now here is the table name, your top left. My table name is table 5. You can change this table name to whatever you want. I want to call it sales. Let me name it sales. I name it sales. Now your table name can be anything. Can be anything, but make sure it makes sense, because I am seeing here that this is talking about sales, geography, product, amount. So it is sensible to just name it sales. Your table name can be one name, or your table name can be it can have multiple, like let's say double words, but there should be no space. There should be no space in your table name. You can't have table name like this, sales, and then sales, let's say the company name, let's say Geo. You cannot have something like this. You can't have whatever it may be. You cannot have space in your table name. You can't have space in your table name. Now if you must have double words, it must be with underscore. Let's say sales table, sales table. This will go. So there must be no space or weird characters. There must be no weird characters there. So this is okay, but I want to leave my own like this. I want to make my own sales. I hit enter. So this table, the name of this table is now called sales, no longer table 3. I want to calculate the total now. I come back to my table. I want to calculate the total. I multiply amount by unit equal to this. Are you seeing what is showing here? Now the reference of this cell is what? D4. D4 is D4. When we talked about relative reference and absolute referencing last week, we know that we said this equal to D4 multiplied by E4. It will give us an answer. But in structured reference, it will take the title of the row, sorry, title of the column, not row, title of the column. That's what it will take to multiply. We'll now say this multiply by unit. Are you seeing unit with the arts here? If we hit our enter, beautiful, 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 this beautiful. Now if we don't have table, if we are not working with table, we will not get this capability of this thing calculating straight up this way, filling all the rows. It's not possible with a range. If you can try it, it won't work. So that's another advantage of using a table. Another advantage of using a table. Now I want to show you something again. Please just follow me. Just follow me. Don't leave me. Now, another thing is that if we do such a calculation outside here, let's check out what will happen. We want to calculate this and this. Remember, in your normal referencing, relative referencing, absolute, mix, whatever. Now it will reference this as what? D4 and E4. Please mute your mic. Mute your mic. It will reference this as D4 and E4. But now let's check what will happen. Since we are working with the table, we hit equal to. you are doing this. This one not to give us like this. No. You're not supposed to have this. This was supposed to have, okay, equal to what am I pressing? Equal to sales. I'm supposed to press tab, not enter. Sales. Now this is the table. This is the table. The table name. This is the table name. Table name is called sales. We open our square brackets. We hit what? We hit amount. We come to amount. Your tab. You close it. Multiply by sales. Your tab. Just watch what I'm doing. Then we go to unit, then tab, close your bracket, you hit your enter. You hit your enter. Now, what I just did is structured reference. Structured reference. I just multiplied this by this. Multiply this by this. Now, it takes this column, but let me make it so that you can understand. Let me do it in a way that you can understand. Let me not do it. Let me do it this way. Sum. Let's use sum. No. Okay. Our amount, tab, close it. Then we pick, that's for the first one. Then want to do for this cell as well. Oh, that's wrong. Then want to do for the, now this sum you can see here, even though I hit enter, this sum you can see here is summing the whole of this table is long. It's summing everything for the whole of amount. That is why it has to reference the table. It has to reference the table plus the column name. Reference the table plus column name. But if we come down this way, and we want to put total, we come down this way, we touch our table, we come to design. Here it says total row. We want to have total row. We have a total row now. Please neglect this. We want to have a total row. We come here and we say the total for that's the sum. Are you seeing it now? This is 1,240,000 and that. Now if we come up here, we see say 1,240,000. Now what's the difference between this is sum, sales, amount, and this we have here. Now if we look up here, we are having subtotal here. But I want to calculate for subtotal. We are having subtotal here, but I want to calculate for just the sum. For sum. Okay, now I want to calculate for sum. This is what I want to show you. Because this total is inside the table, if you see this, look at where my cursor is. This thing I showed, that is to say, this is part of the table. From here upward is part of the table. You can extend this like this. You can come this way. You can extend this. So this is saying that everything that is here, within here, or they are part of this table. because this is part of this table. That is why you can just sum amount and get your answer here. But if you're doing your calculation outside the table, you have to reference the table name plus the column name. I come again. If you want to get your sum within the table, all you need to do is just to reference the column name. But if you're getting your sum out of the table, you have to reference the table name plus the column name. That's why this is just showing sum. But if you want to do it again, let me do it here so I can see it as well. Equal to sum tab. Then we put our sales. I don't know why I'm doing that. We put our sales, close the bracket. Then we go to our amount, close the bracket. Now this is same thing as this, but the formula is differs. The formula differs, or the function differs. Here, this is the active cell. Now we can use currency formatting to format this. Now this is in pounds. You can change to dollar, come and change to dollar. Now this is, let me make it with a range. You cannot have that capability. Watch, are you seeing up here? It's frozen. It's frozen. Okay, now if you're just working with a range, you can't have such capability. Once you hear a column specifier, if I say column specifier as we go on, please know that I'm talking about the column name. The column specifiers here, we have column specifiers here as geography, product, amount, unit, total. They are all column specifiers. Now, we also have what's called union operator. Union operator. So you can use union operator for non-adjacent cells, or non-adjacent column rather, for non-adjacent column. Hope what I'm saying is understandable. Okay, now let me show you an example. You can